Hello and welcome. I am the Afro Atheist, and on my channel, I will be your guide to challenging unquestioned beliefs, scrutinizing the sacred, and dismantling harmful narratives. I fearlessly dive into the realm of religion, exposing the falsehood and embracing intellectual honesty. So join me as I and other freethinkers navigate belief systems. We shed light on harmful ideologies and champion skepticism. If you're ready, join me. If you're not subscribed, make sure you are subscribed, turn your notification bells on, and share your comments about my video or whatever is in your mind. I would love to hear them. Okay, guys, so let's go. Guys, so I grew up in Africa, in Nigeria to be precise, my formative years. I was introduced to the religion of Christianity as a child. I was exposed to harmful ideologies as a youngster, exposed to the concept of hell, heaven by people who were clueless, didn't have a clue what they were doing. And now that I've come away from religion, I expose these lies, I expose these falsehoods. And so, what you're going to listen to today is problematic. This video has over 1 million views. But why is it that people cannot see what I'm seeing? Why is it that people cannot hear what I'm hearing? So, I want you, while you're listening, to tell me what you think. My goal is to expose the lies that are told by these so-called preachers, men of God, or whatever they're calling themselves these days. So join me. Let's go and have a look at James Kawalya. He's problematic. Many of the things he says, I personally don't believe. But people are they're so gullible. They believe him. Okay, let's see what he has to say.
And actually, many people by association, they're in bondage.
Wow.
By association. That's the people you join, the people you went with, the groups you have, and others are delivered, are healed, are blessed because of the people that surround them. So I always ask, and I want to ask those that are watching, you are saying in bondage, you're saying this, what is your company? Who are the people around you? Are they defiling you? Are they edifying you? Because that's important. I can pray for you, but you go home and you will defile them. I can pray for you and cast out the demons. But then the people that you interact with on social media, your friends, your posts, what you watch, all that is association. You see? So when I say, go and tell your pastor to call me, or to send me a mail and say, I am the pastor of this person. I know what's going through. We have tried, but we failed, but you can help. You know what I'll do? I'll not pray for you. I'll train your pastor.
Come on.
I'll tell your pastor, this is how we do it. Because me and your pastor, we're in the same authority. And you're not in authority. I want your pastor who will know what to do. And if you're in the bondage in that church, I mean, there are many like you. So if they never pray for you, the bond others.
Now, just pause there, because for many people, that's like mind-blowing that
all this kind of all sorts of children. Now, if I'm going to pray for the thousands of children every day, and your pastor calls me and says, Pastor, let's talk as pastors. This is how we do it. Let's do like this. If you see this, if you see this, if you see this, maybe there was infiltration, maybe the church is under attack, the people are in bondage. This is just one of them, but there are many, so they're all under attack. It may be your life. So you, pastor, get delivered, get healed, receive the anointing, walk in authority, and the people will be delivered. That's how it's done. So that's why I'm saying I better deal with a leader who will help others than dealing with one man.
Yeah.
And now, if you say, Pastor, I have an issue with my child. Now, I have thousands of children they bring to me for deliverance.
In what areas?
Autism and addictions, all this kind of all sorts of children. Now, if I'm going to pray for the thousands of children every day, I don't think I'll be effective. What do I do?
Train
the parents. In fact, when I'm dealing with autism, I don't pray for a child. You don't need to bring your child to church or to me. You don't need to. I also the parents. You come, I train you how to reverse autism. You come and sit, I train you.
Now, just pause there, because for many people, that's like mind-blowing that autism can even be reversed. So, can we just take a little bit of a tangent, just share a bit about that, because that is a huge, huge thing here in the West. And I don't know, actually, I don't know, is it bigger in Africa? I'm not sure.
It's
As a mother to an autistic child myself, I take this personal. We are spreading misinformation, telling people that they can be healed of autism. What is autism, by the way? So this is from the NHS, which is the UK website, the official healthcare website for the UK. So it is a trusted website. Let's see what they've got to say about autism. So what is autism? Autistic people may act in different ways to other people. autistic people may find it hard to communicate and interact with other people. They find it hard to understand how other people think or feel. They find things like bright colors and loud noises overwhelming. They get anxious. They take longer to understand information. Autism is not an illness. James Kawalya and James Aladiran, these two men that have no clue. Autism is not an illness. Being autistic does not mean that you have an illness or disease. It means your brain works in a different way from others, and there is nothing wrong with that. We can't all be the same. If something you eat is something you're born with, signs of autism might be noticed when you are young or not until you're older. If you are autistic your whole life. It is you. But these men think that they can heal autism. They're doing damage to children. Autism is not a medical condition with treatments or a cure, but some people need support to help them with certain things. Being autistic does not stop you having a good life. Like everyone, autistic people have things that they're good at, as well as things that they struggle with. Being autistic does not mean you can never make friends, have relationships, or get a job, but you might need extra help. You cannot heal autism. You can't. Let's go and hear him. My goodness.
Comings of recent.
Anyway, I don't know. It's a big thing here in the West, because that's been most of my experience. So it's unusual. I don't think I've heard of an autism kind of story of someone being free. Someone I know personally. Okay, so most people who live in the West will probably be able to, resonate with what I just said. But you've just made a bold claim. No, it's a bold claim. Now, just talk us through just a little bit of that before we go back into the process of freedom.
Now you get into the details. Now look at this. I don't know if I can allow. Okay. So when the Lord began dealing with me, especially dealing with my traumas, my trapped souls, the fragmented parts of my souls, when I went through the spiritual Jesus and what, and no one could help me. The Lord began teaching me about prisons and regions of captivity. And I realized many people, including children, some are still trapped in their mother's wombs. The body was born, but the soul remained trapped. And so it's not like this. The Lord had taught me about.
Some people are still trapped in their mother's womb. They are born, but their souls are still trapped. Says James Kawalya. Can you believe this? Okay, let's hear him.
About all this. And suddenly parents began bringing children to me for prayer. Wow. And I didn't get results. Like every day when a child to be prayed for, I pray when I know how to pray, and no one was delivered. No one, none of them. And so I said, God, what's going on?
Excuse me. I thought in Christianity, children are innocent until the age of accountability. Children don't have to account for anything because they're clean slates. So why are children being brought to you for deliverance? I'm not sure I understand this. Why are we delivering children out here now? Guys, can you see how child abuse goes on in these places they call church at the hands of men like this one? Talking about they bring children to you for deliverance. What are you delivering them from? No, what are you delivering them from? Absolutely crazy.
Then one day, a lady brought a child. She was around 9-10 years, and to be prayed for. Then I was praying for the child, and I heard the Lord say, go to the home. And then I told the parent, I hear the Lord say, I come to your house. And I think the mother was like waiting for such an opportunity. So she asked when. And I felt, okay, I'm coming tonight. So I went to this home that night. The mother got the child, gave me the child in the room. Now I'm going to pray. I thought I'm going to pray for that child for maybe that day or that night and go home. But the Lord caused me to stay in that house for 32 days.
Did you hear that, guys? For 32 days.
I stayed in that house.
His Lord, God, the Christian God, Jesus' daddy, told him to go to the house of this autistic child to go and pray for the child. And the Lord asked him to stay for 32 days in the house of a child with autism. Guys, it gets worse. It gets worse.
I left the church. I left, and the Lord said, "Don't
wait. You left your church.
Yes.
You left your preaching.
Yes.
You left your traveling. You left all your ministry.
The Lord did
one
not.
child.
The Lord did not let me leave that house. You know what happened? The first night. Oh my God! And I've written a book about that.
Okay, what's it called?
It's healing the soul. And I give my story about that child, the first child that got delivered from autism. So the first day, it was hell. You know, the child would scream in the middle of the night, release an odd smell, attack me. You know when those children, when they are in another world, you could see this child not present. So in the morning,
that child was abused by James Kawalya. And I'll explain what I mean. First of all, you have gone to this child's home. You have invaded that child's privacy. And now you're conducting whatever this is at night when the child should be sleeping. The child is screaming. The child is producing an odor. James Kawalya says the child attacked him. Why wouldn't he attack you? You are invading his space. He didn't ask you to be there. He's autistic. That's all he is. Autistic. He hasn't harmed anyone. He just wants to be left alone. And this fool has gone uninvited because his God says to go to this child's house. What mother allows her child to be treated by men like these? What mother welcomes in a man into her home to come and treat her child in the middle of the night? Oh, this is wrong. On so many levels, it is wrong.
Mother tells me, Pastor James, you know, for years, I could not even leave this house. I have to take care of this child. Now that you're here, let me go and visit my friend. You know, the husband was not coming home. Could come home around midnight, drunk because of what was going on in the house. So she leaves me, and then I was like, okay, let me spend that day with this child. In the evening, the parent will come back, only to call me in the night, and say, James, the food and everything is in the fridge.
No.
I'm not coming back. You are there, I know.
You're not trapped.
Now,
he goes to this little child's house, and the child's mother says, oh, I've not been able to leave the home all this while, but now that you're here, be my babysitter. And she leaves Pastor with her vulnerable child, and she's off. She even calls while she's over there to say, I'm not coming back. So this grown man is left with a child alone, because the father of this child, he's drunk anyway, doesn't bother coming home. Who knows what happened between James and that child? Who knows what took place? This is scary. I'm thinking about my child. My son is 14. Imagine me doing this to him, leaving him in the company of a stranger who claims to want to heal him. And then I go and leave my son overnight. Guys, this is where Christianity has found itself. Now the men of God go to children's homes to go and deliver them. James Kawalya, let's hear you. Now you are in the company of a child, all alone. Guys, can you see how grooming of children can take place? Can you see how abuse of children starts to take place in these Christian establishments at the hands of these men? No, these are not my words. These are his words. He's now in the company of this child who we already know is autistic. We don't know if they're verbal or non-verbal. We don't know, what their autism looks like. Every autistic person is different. 32 days in the company of this child. This is crazy.
now I'm trapped in the child.
Wow.
Even the second day, I'm trapped in the child.
Trapped.
And he tells Pastor James, for years I could not sleep.
He's trapped with the child. Goodness gracious me. No, James Kawalya, the child is trapped with your sorry ass. That child is trapped with you. That vulnerable child is trapped with this grown man. Guys, can you hear this? People need to do an investigation or something.
I could not do anything. Now I found, and I could tell she has been stressed for years. The husband stressed also. Now they've from the pastor, I became a babysitter.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
But God was in it, as difficult as it was.
God was, because every day he was teaching me about how to reverse this thing. What are you dealing with? What cleansing you need to go through?
God was involved in the the abusing of this child. God was involved. He says God was using that child every day to teach him how to heal autism. So God was using the plight of this child to teach this man lessons. Wow. Just wow.
What are the issues?
Wait, just pause there, because I know we can go deep in this, even deeper, but just to help people understand what you just said. As the minister, there's a level of consecration you need to attain to enter into certain dimensions of breakthrough, the things you're contending for.
Actually, it has nothing to do with the child. Nothing to do with the child. It's like telling someone on chains and release themselves, untie themselves. They can't. You know, there's deliverance where someone is conscious, the willing, what do you call a willing soul. How about someone who's not conscious? Someone who completely lost their mind, like a child. How do you deliver? How do you bring them to repentance? There's nothing. It has nothing to do with the one in bondage. It's about you. So I go through my personal cleansing. You know, the Lord is dealing with many things in me. And every day he shows me how to deal with layers and layers of captivity until the last day, when the power that captures children from mothers, from wombs, because it captures them still in the womb, but they manifest it when they're around 3-4 years.
Wow.
But they were trapped.
There are spirits that capture children from their mother's wombs. What spirits? James Kawalya, show us the proof of this thing you're talking about. Otherwise, you need to shut your mouth and leave innocent children alone. This man says that children are trapped from their mother's wombs, and the spirit doesn't show up until they're 3 years. Can you imagine 3-year-old children in the hands of this man? He would look at that 3-year-old child and say, there's a demon inside of you. Oh my goodness, I am worried. James Aladiran, this is a message to you. If you're not seeing what I am seeing, and you continue to keep this video up, if tomorrow an investigation is done and they go and find things, James Aladiran, this can come back to haunt you. This is sickening, James. You've got children, James. I'm talking about James Aladiran now. Senior kids. Is this what you will put your children through?
Goes into the wombs and capture them and takes them in prison. And the Lord shows me where the prison is. And you know what? The spirit is a legion. So the last day legion appears
The legions.
in the room. I'm with the child, and legion appears.
As in, you see this in the spirit?
Not in the spirit. So a being appears in the room physically, and I am with the child, and I know now if it has been exposed, I have attained authority over it. So it's here, and now the Lord begins to instruct me.
That poor autistic child. James Kawalya says it was the legion. The legion came inside the room, and the legion came to talk to him. It appeared. All that time, that child is right there. Someone needs to speak to an authority somewhere.
I mean, this is how you break the ties with the child. And so after 32 days, I think I teach about the parents how to deal with it when it appears. Because you know those children, they have always a window that they come normal. They're always not abnormal all the time. There's a window when that window opens, what do you do in that window? So I tell the parents, cleanse yourself. When
These children are always abnormal, but there is a window when they are normal. Can you imagine someone saying that about my child? That my child is always abnormal, but there's a window where my child is normal. I will walk you the fuck out of this place. I will kick you out. How dare you talk about my child like that? But here, these are the so-called men of God. They're allowed to just do whatever they want with any child that they want. Oh, goodness.
that window, when like they're back, how do you respond so that they don't return to the pit? You see, how do you respond? And so after 32 days, this child, the parents, the mother comes in the room, and the child could recognize the mother for the first time, like make contact, because they don't make contact, like emotions. And the child could now run to the mother and embrace the mother. And that boy, right now, he's free. He's good in music. He's good in mathematics. He's normal. He's verbal. He was not.
I tell you what happened there, James. This was nothing to do with the healing. That child was sorry. That child was fed up of your sorry ass. That child had enough. The child wanted a familiar face. The child was done. The child knew, if I don't do something, if I don't say mommy or something, this man will continue my abuse. It's nothing to do with you, James. The child was trying to escape you.
Non-verbal by the time, he's now verbal. And from that time I learned, from the 32 days, I can take 7 days with a parent.
Okay, so what you're saying is the first one took you 32 days, and now it takes you up to 7 days.
So maximum 7.
That child was the victim that was used to teach James how to heal autistic children for 7 days. But in that child's case, 32 days. Over a month. Every day praying for over a month. Night in this child's house. My goodness, James. What? No, James. James Kawalya now. What did you do to that child? When you were alone with that child, what did you do?
7 days.
To get to a place where the child is free.
The parent.
Oh, the parent.
Not me.
So you're training the parent.
I can't train a child. I can't. And I can't have all the children that come. So what I do is, not only autism, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, and all these kind of things, the caretaker must be trained. The family, if they have someone with a disorder, as a family, come and I show you how to do it, because this person cannot do it themselves.
So now, is this a program you run in Uganda?
Yeah.
So, because obviously people watching this all over the world, they're like, okay, they want to come and be trained, and so they can come and be trained.
And maybe you can ask, what do you train people to do? Do you train them about demons? No. I train them in consecration. Everyone born of God, if you go through consecration, you have authority over all the powers of darkness. So when I tell the parent, this is the journey, but consecration for ministry is different for deliverance.
Can you tell?
You notice he didn't even read one passage from the Bible. So this isn't even biblical. Not that I like the Bible. I think that the Bible is a toxic book. But what is his source? Where is he getting this from? Where is he getting it from? Guys, that was disturbing. That was hard to listen to. But it needs to be called out. Things are going on. Children are being abused at the hands of these so-called preachers, pastors. You can't heal autism. Leave autistic children alone. An investigation. I recommend an investigation be done into that child's life. The 32 days that James Kawalya spent with that child. What went on? Questions need to be asked of that young boy. Because let me tell you, what grown man stops with a young child? Autistic. Non-verbal. Guys, this is worrisome. But hey, you know, when these preachers and pastors come out here and give their grandiose miracles and testimonies, we listening, we tuning. It's the things that they're not saying. That's what we are hearing. And this, James, I hear you. I've got my eyes on you. Guys, what do you think about this video? Do you think that you can heal autism? Do you think that James was inappropriate with that child at night? I bet he laid hands on that child to heal him. James, did you lay your hands on him? This is just crazy. Well, guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Wow. There's still sin in the world. Christians sin every single day. So what did Jesus sacrifice himself for?